The AI agents are coming. And what does that mean? So, gosh, there's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now. You've probably heard the word AI agent. What does that mean? Well, hopefully you'll come away from this a little bit more informed, maybe a little bit frightened, but maybe a little bit optimistic. So just to put this in perspective, you're looking at a picture of Agent Smith. You might remember him from a retro movie classic called The Matrix, which was released on April the 8th, 1999, which is 25 years ago. So yeah, just we're getting old, right? I mean, yeah. We're doing the reruns of Lord of the Rings with my kids right now. You know, 2001 that came out. Anyway, blows my mind. So there's a crazy pace of innovation right now. So just to give you a flavor of that, Gemini was the latest and greatest AI model released by Google last week, Gemini 1.0. And we got Gemini 1.5 today. So what is that? What does Gemini 1.5 give us? It gives us a massive amount of information that we can cram into it. So this is a concept called the context window. If you're not aware what that means, it's essentially the short-term memory of the AI that you're dealing with. Up until now, you know, GPT-4 has given us 128K, and, you know, it kind of loses the plot after a while, but you have to be talking to it for a while for it to really lose the plot. Claude was, up until yesterday, you know, the king. It had 200K of tokens, so you could cram a lot into it. This is really quite significant. You can put 1 hour worth of video, 11 hours of audio, 30,000 lines of code, or 700,000 words. You know, this is books worth of material into a conversation. So now it's an expert about whatever that is, and yeah, it's a big deal. What else? Well, there is a small company called OpenAI who are doing some novel things with AI, which you might have heard of. The latest thing that they've done is text to video. You know, you might have seen some text to video stuff. Runway ML springs to mind. Now, apologies if this doesn't really come through very well over the conference, but this is pretty significant in terms of not only the clarity of the image, but the consistency that you're seeing and its ability to remain consistent over time. I'll just come to some examples. This one in particular I thought was really mind-blowing, and how, I mean, you can see in the distance there's a little building and it's staying in position and things aren't wigging around. Oh, that looked creepy. Things aren't wiggling around as you might expect. The detail in the waves, the straight lines. Oh, this one's good.
So is this AI generated?
This is fully AI generated. It will generate up to 30 seconds of non-stop footage based on a text prompt.
And you know, just to clarify, like in the past, it was kind of like a couple of seconds. So like 30 seconds is such a big deal that you're starting to be able to construct full stories and movies with this type of stuff.
Is it free for users?
This is research at the moment. So what they said is it's open to red teaming. So they're just looking at the security of this right now. But anyway, this isn't an AI agent. But what it is it's just showing you the pace of innovation in this space right now. And really it's industry shifting stuff. I mean, you kind of got to ask yourself, going back to Lord of the Rings, what is Weta going to do? I mean, it's just changing everything. So just coming back. So what is an AI agent? Well, I think it would be good to let's just ask the expert, right? What is an AI? What do we mean by an AI agent?
They've been getting all the names changed.
Okay, so it's a system that can act autonomously or autonomously on your behalf. It's proactive and it will go about doing tasks without your direct involvement. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. So up until now, the chatbots that we've been dealing with have been really quite task focused. It's can you do this, get an output? Can you do that, get an output? This is actually taking that a step further and doing things beyond the task orientation. Yeah, so what could possibly go wrong with this? So, I mean, we've got agents out there acting, doing things already. We've got robotaxis out there in the real world. You know, it's not going so well. By all accounts, you know, they've had a massive recall of these robotaxis, and anyway, but just to make the point that they are out there, and there's some teething problems with these. Sorry for all these ads. I promise I haven't been searching for anything.
Sorry, no sugar challenge. I was saying.
So, I mean, that company I discussed, OpenAI, is helping to educate us about what these things can do, and so they're giving us tools to get our heads around what is an agent and how might that be useful to me in the future, and how might I go about using that. So there's a thing called a custom GPT. So, you know, you've got your normal chat GPT that, again, that's kind of an open world. It's just like it's a generic chatbot. A custom GPT is something that you can customize and publish, and it essentially becomes an app that others can use or to achieve a specific workflow. So the demo I'd like to show you is just to explore what these can do. And so there are thousands of these things out there, right? So any kind of thing you can think of is here. They leverage the multimodal capabilities of GPTs. So it's not only text, it's also images, and it's also internet enabled. So you can search, you can do all kinds of things, right? So I've created a bunch of these things just because it's fun, but B, because I think there's real potential in this. So I've been collaborating with a friend of mine, Dr. Simon McCallum, and so he's developed this what he calls a 6-animal model, and it's a model that you can use in a group setting. So you can assign a role to someone, and someone takes on a role in a group. So that you might be, let's just dive into it, right? So I'll just say hi to, this is the McCallum 6-animal model GPT. What can it do? Okay, how can I assist you today? I've got these different modes of operation. Okay, I can be in it. Okay, what does avatar do? Right, so these are the 6 avatars that we've given to this GPT. It can be the bear, that's essentially the leader. The wolf is the manager. The cat is the cynic. The puppy is the always there backing you up, providing enthusiasm. The owl is all about getting things done and process, and the rabbit is the facilitator of the group.
Chris, you might just want to move a little bit.
Yeah,
That's it.
thank you. So that's the 6-animal model, and we'll dive into that in a minute. But I'll just show you what the puppy can do. So hi puppy. Oh, I'm so thrilled you chose me. How can this enthusiastic puppy help you today? Let's make something amazing together. Great. Well, what about the cat?
It's got to sleep.
Yeah, that's so cat-like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we're waiting for the cat to respond as
Cynically.
usual.
That's doing a big stretch.
It'll respond in its own terms. It won't be ordered by you.
Okay.
3 to 5
Well,
business days.
let's come back to the cat.
That's one.
Consensus. Okay, so there's another GPT I'd like to show you. It's called Consensus. Consensus is essentially a research assistant, so it will look up actual papers, and it will give you citations on the latest research. Okay. So I'll say, give me the top 2 papers on AI agents in 2023.
It's very hard to manage because IT costs a lot.
So what it's doing there is it's actually reaching out of ChatGPT, and it's talking to an API hosted by Consensus on their repository, and it's pulling information from there. So yep, it's given us 2 papers, and it's given us 2 citations for those papers. So now what I can do is I can actually use the other GPTs that I've created or anyone else has created, and then pull them into this conversation. So how about we bring in the cat?
Yeah, that's right.
Can we get the cat to comment on this, please? Okay, so the cat's giving us a critical view of these, well, at least this discussion around the papers. So, you know, the progress in AI agents is promising, but there's a lot of complexity, ethical considerations, nuances, and that kind of thing. But, you know, I just want to progress with this stuff. So, okay, I need some puppy action. All right, so the puppy is a lot more enthusiastic, right? He's just giving us the enthusiastic view. You know, it can enhance collaboration. It's going to give us, you know, some wonderful ways that we can connect and solve problems together, and all sorts of things. So what I just wanted to show you there is that these agents can actually work together and interact with each other in some quite interesting ways. So the interesting thing here is that we were talking about the context window earlier. So there's a long-term memory component that these chatbots have kind of lacked until now, but this is just another module that's being built into them over time. So long-term memory is now a feature in ChatGPT. It's just rolling out at the moment. So what it can do is it will pick up on things and remember them, or you can tell it to remember things. You can delete memories, but what it means is that those memories persist through different conversations. And that's actually really powerful. That now we didn't have it, and now we do. So it's just to think, if AI can't do something today, it can probably do it tomorrow. It's just that we haven't quite built it yet. So great, big things are coming. Now, obviously, with that one, some very real concerns about privacy of information, and obviously that's something we'll need to consider and work through. So talking more about these multi-agent systems. So this one is old news now. This is in AI development terms. This came out in April of last year. This is a simulation where they took this idea of an agent and they put it into a real world scenario. So we're playing The Sims, but now we've assigned those roles, and these Sims are using language to communicate. They have motivations, they respond, and you can talk to them. Okay, this is Simon here. He actually gave a talk on this last year. It wasn't his work, but he was talking about it. So here's an agent. You know, they have a morning routine. They wake up, they brush their teeth, take a shower, cook breakfast. They catch up with their family and friends. They're getting ready for work, and they begin their day. So they have a routine, and they go about their days, and they interact with each other. So this is a real interaction within that simulation. So Isabella is planning a Valentine's Day party and is inviting her friends, and then their friends are talking to their friends. They're finding out who's going where, and they have their own schedules, and so they may not be able to come, and so on and so forth. So there's this whole web of interactions which is happening within this multi-agent system. But then we get into scale, right? So agents at scale,
And that's really
what does this mean? So Microsoft has published some research called AutoGen. Now this is actually a product that you can use. It's a whole framework for building diverse multi-agent applications which are generated dynamically. So the idea is that you can give the system an objective, and it will actually I need to get out of the way of that. Oh, there's Marie. Hi, Marie.
There was a.
AI agent.
Is it really, Marie?
So you give them an objective, and then they'll go off and they will spin up specialist agents that can do these things. In this example, what they're doing is they're actually defining what those agents are, and then it will they'll interact and they'll get a job done. So you know, there's an example here that Jerry provided of this. So this is I haven't looked at this paper directly, but I believe that the idea was, oh yeah, here you go. See if I can zoom into that one. So you've got these different roles, and the different roles interact. So you know, you're a product manager, you're a coder, you're a tester, whatever you are, you have a role to play. So you create a team, and then it will get things done for you. So just to sort of shift gears for a little bit. So you've probably heard of the Apple Vision Pro. It's a pretty crazy piece of equipment, which is kind of like strapping an iPad to your head, but very powerful, and you kind of gonna ask yourself, well, where is this going, right? So Tim Cook has been pretty holding his cards pretty close to his chest about AI, but he's actually started coming out saying, hey, we are rolling out AI into our products. So you know, there's people out there speculating about what this might mean. You know, my personal opinion is that Apple is uniquely positioned because they own the hardware, that they will be integrating language models deeply into their operating system. So it now has access to everything on your device and can do anything as if it's you, which is pretty crazy. So there's other people out there suggesting that this may be a Trojan horse for them to actually roll out into their new computing paradigms, such as the Apple Vision Pro. What are the other outfits doing? So, Microsoft came out just the other day at the Super Bowl, which is a huge event in the States. The money they spend on ads during the Super Bowl is just phenomenal. So they released their Copilot to the world, and I suggest you go and watch it. It's a really powerful ad, actually. So it's really getting to the human aspect, the people aspect. It's saying whether you're old, whether you're young, you've got these dreams and something's been holding you back, whether you haven't had the skills or you haven't had the time. Now you do. You've got the capability that you can actually execute on your dreams now. So it's a pretty powerful message. What's OpenAI up to in the agent space? So they're working on building, kind of like what I said about Apple. They're doing their own thing in the same way. So they are building agents that can do things on your devices as if they are you. So anything you can do on your phone, ChatGPT can now do that for you. There is this kind of a novel thing came out of nowhere. So it was at one of the recent big tech conferences called the Rabbit. The Rabbit is taking quite a novel take on all of this. So it's using not a large language model, it's using a large action model. So a large action model, think of the training that you're giving the AI model. So a large language model is all about text. So it knows about language. We've trained it up on books, Reddit, 4chan, the internet, So it knows how to do text. A large action model. So what they're doing with this is they're actually saying apps are dead.
Yeah.
Apps are not the future, right? So what they're saying is we've got too many apps on our phones. It's too hard to find things. We want a more natural interface to our devices. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a model that knows how to do all the things on all the apps, on all the browsers, on all the forms. And now all you need to do is you need to talk to the device and it will go off and do all those things for you on your behalf. And that's what the action model is trained on. It's trained to do. So they're packing in quite a lot of stuff into this little thing. Now all it's got is a button on the side and a wheel for scrolling through things. The whole deal is that you talk to it. And it's actually got this quite neat little swiveling gimbal camera built into it as well, which I'm not quite sure how that's going to work. But they're really going for a mass market thing, and the idea is that they want the simplest computing device ever, like the simplest way to do computing tasks ever. It's like a post-smartphone type technology, and it's $199 US, which is a third of the price, or if not less than a smartphone. It's more in the realms of a Google Home or Alexa type of a price range. So where is all this taking us? So I'm going to show you a demo shortly, but this is showing you there are different models out there that are doing these auto agent generations. And so there's this new one called Voyager, which is developed by NVIDIA. And they put it into Minecraft and they got it to just play Minecraft. And their one was so much better than all the other ones that it's and it just keeps on going, it keeps on learning, it keeps on getting better. So where are we at, right? So this is another industrial revolution. So we've had the steam revolution, that was 1.0. We could mechanize production through the use of steam power, and industry 2.0 was, okay, now we're taking that idea and we're going to use electricity to do that. So this is where we started seeing manufacturing lines, Henry Ford and that kind of thing. Industry 3.0 is all about digitization, which started with really the personal computing revolution, and where we are today, which is the next paradigm shift, which is applying everything that we've learned to date and now getting AI to automate things for us. So, you know, I always like to come back to where is the money? So what's the money doing? So this guy, Satya Nadella, is, you know, by all accounts, one of the best CEOs out there right now in the tech space, and has taken Microsoft to a really good place, and it's actually quite a very stable, sensible company, actually.
The most valuable in the world.
And what have they done is that they've bet the farm on AI. So I don't know if you remember, it was a little while ago, they did a big layoff, tens of thousands of workers, and people were saying, oh, this is, the industry is going down, it's all turning to custard. But actually, what they were doing is that they were pivoting their entire business to AI. They were cutting out everything that wasn't helping them get to AGI sooner, and then focusing all their efforts on that. So they are spending $50 billion US annually on Azure expansion, getting them to be at the leading edge, bringing about artificial general intelligence to the world. And the kind of the analogy here is that this is really, it's not an analogy, it's the reality of an infrastructure build out, and like we've never seen. It's bigger than the Apollo moon landings. It's really quite immense. So coming back to the Minecraft thing, so I'm just going to show you a little glimpse of what NVIDIA is up to.
And there's no game better than Minecraft for the infinite creative things it supports. Minecraft has 140 million active players. And Minecraft is so insanely popular because it's open-ended. It does not have a fixed storyline for you to follow, and you can do whatever your heart desires in the game. And when we set Voyager free in Minecraft, we see that it's able to play the game for hours on end without any human intervention. The video here shows snippets from a single episode of Voyager, where it just keeps going. It can explore the terrains, mine all kinds of materials, fight monsters, craft hundreds of recipes, and unlock an ever-expanding tree of skills. Voyager is able to not only master, but also discover new skills along the way. And we did not pre-program any of this. It's all Voyager's idea. And this, what you see here, is what we call lifelong learning, where an agent is forever curious and forever pursuing new adventures. Compared to AlphaGo, Voyager scales up massively on the number of things it can do, but still controls only one body in Minecraft. So the question is, can we have an algorithm that works across many different bodies? Enters Metamorph. It is an initiative I co-developed at Stanford. We created a foundation model that can control not just one, but thousands of robots with very different arm and leg configurations. We show that Metamorph is able to control thousands of robots to go upstairs, cross difficult terrains, and avoid obstacles. Compared to Voyager, Metamorph takes a big stride towards multi-body control. And now, let's take everything one level further and transfer the skills and embodiments across realities. Enters Isaac Sim, NVIDIA's simulation effort. The biggest strength of Isaac Sim is to accelerate physics simulation to 1,000x faster than real time. For example, this character here learns some impressive martial arts by going through 10 years of intense training in only 3 days of simulation time. So it's very much like the virtual sparring dojo in the movie Matrix. And what's more, Isaac Sim can procedurally generate worlds with infinite variations so that no two look the same. If an agent is able to master 10,000 simulations, then it may very well just generalize to our real physical world, which is simply the 10,001st reality. As we progress through this map, we will eventually get to the upper right corner, which is a single agent that generalizes across all 3 axes. And that is the foundation agent. And we train it by simply scaling it up massively across lots and lots of realities. I believe in a future where everything that moves will eventually be autonomous. And one day, we will realize that all the AI agents across WALL-E, Star Wars, Ready Player One, no matter if they are in the physical or virtual spaces, will all just be different prompts to the same foundation agent. And that, my friends, will be the next grand challenge in our quest for AI.
Predictions. So with every technology shift, there's going to be good sides and there's going to be bad sides. And kind of got to take the bad with the good. Here's our friend Simon McCallum. So this was April last year. He's predicting that in 2 to 5 years, we've got this collapse of the knowledge economy. So, cognitive work that we all do, white collar work, it's going to change, right? So the value of human connections and emotional intelligence is really going to become paramount in that shift. The learning that we do becomes like an exercise. It's optional. We don't have to do it anymore. And what the downside of that could be is that we get into this thing called the apathy epidemic, where people just go, what's the point? These things are doing everything for me anyway, and they do it better than I could, so why should I bother? So that's something we need to be really mindful of, I think. But I mean, my view is that we just need to keep moving and roll with the changes. So, I mean, I kind of see it as this Cambrian explosion. Like, we have this massive opportunity to innovate and explore and do new things, and the pace of innovation that we're seeing is unprecedented. So, I want to be a part of that. This is looking back 5 years. What was Sam Altman saying? This is before ChatGPT. He was at an innovation startup kind of VC fund called Y Combinator, and he's talking about AI's the likelihood of most jobs being displaced, but also this huge increase in material abundance based upon the massive capability we'll have in these tools. So he sort of explores that in this paper, and I love this little animation here. We got money falling from the sky. He's saying in the next 5 years, computer programs that can think will read legal documents, give medical advice, and in the next decade, they will do assembly line work and maybe even become companions. And in the decades after that, they'll do almost everything, including making new scientific discoveries that will expand our concept of everything. This revolution is unstoppable. Take all this with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, he's a businessman and he's making money out of this, right? But a recursive loop of innovation, as the smart machines themselves help make us smarter, we make them smarter, and we'll accelerate the pace. But the three crucial consequences will be this revolution will create phenomenal wealth. The price of many kinds of labor, which drives the cost of goods and services, will fall towards zero. Once sufficiently powerful AI joins the workforce, the world will change so rapidly and drastically that an equally drastic change in policy will be needed to distribute this wealth and enable more people to pursue the life they want. And if we get both these things right, we can improve the standard of living for people more than we ever have before. That kind of talk might scare some people. So what should I do? Okay. I don't know, but I can make some suggestions, right? I think that there are things that you can influence and things that you can't. So I come back to Darwin and his wise words: it is not the strongest of the species that survive, nor the most intelligent, but the ones that are most responsive to change. So be adaptable. Get on board with it. Give it a go. See how it works.
Done.